Hi, I want to show you how to get your WordPress site up very quickly. First off, you need a web host service. We use bluehost.com in ours, but there are a number, GoDaddy and others, that can serve the same purpose. Once you get your account with Bluehost or GoDaddy, you would um, create your domain that you're going to put this on. That's the URL. In our case, it's kathylip.com, but you would pick your own. And once you have that, you would just go to the control panel for either Bluehost or whatever hosting service you're using, and they all have this single click install WordPress process. So you just click that button and off it goes, and it'll ask you a couple of questions to figure out where you want to put it, passwords, and things like that. Very simple questions. And poof, you've got a WordPress site up and running. It's pretty quick. When you log into your website for the first time after installing WordPress, it will look something like this. This is just their generic template. They've populated it with a few things already, this hello world blog post, and given you a default theme. The theme is what is controlling the look and feel of your website. Now, if you want to go in and control this and modify things, which you do, just change the URL up here and add WP-admin. That is the standard way to get into the administrative interface for a WordPress site. It will prompt you for your username and password that you set up already. So you'll enter that. And now you're in the administrative side of WordPress. The menu over here on the left are options for controlling the various aspects of your WordPress site. This is where you would go to create new blog posts. Plugins, you hear me talking a lot about plugins. They extend the functionality of your WordPress site. We're going to do one of those in just a moment. Appearance is your theme, which I talked about earlier. It controls how your site looks. But let's start with plugins because I want you to have a specific plugin to begin with. So we're just going to click on plugins. Out of the box, it gives you two plugins, and I'm actually going to delete the Hello Dolly one because that doesn't do anything. So yes, goodbye. And I'm going to add new. Oh, look at this. It came up in their initial window. It's Jetpack by WordPress.com. This is a terrific plugin, provides a lot of functionalities. So let's just install that. So you click the Install Now button, and off it goes. It picked it up, and we're told that it installed the plugin successfully, and now we can activate the plugin. So we're going to click on that button, and now Jetpack is activated. And notice that we now have a new menu item over here on the side called Jetpack. And in some of my other um, tech notes that I've given you, I've referred back to the statistics that Jetpack will collect for you. So you definitely want to do that. Let's go in here right now and get things connected. Click Connect Jetpack. And now you attach Jetpack to your WordPress.com username and password. If you don't have one, you can create one. I happen to have one, I think. Okay, I'm actually pretty impressed that I got that password right on the first try. Uh, um, so we're going to just click the jump start to activate the most common features that people use. That activated a bunch of things. And we want to make sure that site stats is active. That really is one of the key things to activate here. So make sure that that is activated. All right, that's it then for Jetpack. Now let's talk about creating your first blog post. The way we do that, just go over here to Posts and click on that. And this will list out all of your posts that you already have. As I said earlier, it gave us this hello world post as a default post. You want to throw that one away because nobody needs to see that one. Then we can click the add new. So here I am, I'm going to create my first podcast blog post. And the way we've chosen to title our podcasts is we always include the word episode. We lead off with the word episode in the title. Different people will have different opinions on whether that's a good idea or not, but that's what we've chosen to do. So episode 101, because nobody ever starts with one. Um, my first podcast. All right, don't use that title. That would be a horrible title. And then down here in this area, you would just enter in the show notes or whatever text that you want to appear on the screen. And we always start with a link to the podcast. Eh, something like that. We actually use a graphic button here, but I don't have one handy, so we're going to use text. Uh, and we're going to insert that as a link. Now, what's the URL? Well, we're going to go back to Libsyn. Remember, we uploaded the MP3 file to Libsyn. So let's just go grab one from ours. We've got our previously published. And here we click the little link button. And you got a lot of different options here for um, how to give different links. We always use the direct download URL. So this is actually the link that I'm going to cut and paste. I'm just going to copy that. If it's just going in your blog and you would want to include a player, a media player, you could use this embed code. We don't use that because our blogs go out in email. We manage a blog subscription, email subscription. And for our email subscribers, when they got that email, this embedded code isn't really going to work well in their email reader. So we always just do a simple link, play now, listen now, something like that. And we attach this URL that I just grabbed to that button. But right now it's text, just simple text. All right. And here's where you would put, here is where you would put your show notes and all the stuff that Kathy has already talked to you about. Um, guest host pictures, downloads, resources, all of that stuff goes here. I'm going to keep it very simple. There it is, very simple. And I'm going to push publish. Now, what does that look like out on your site? This isn't going to look very good because I didn't include any graphics. I didn't include anything. But if we go to our site here, test blog, that's my site, and we can see what this looks like. So here is episode 101, my first podcast. Listen to the podcast. And if I click the listen to the podcast button, there it is. There it is. So that is the podcast. You notice how quickly that came up too. That's because Libsyn is ready to serve that. All right. That is creating your blog post for your podcast. Thanks.